What's going on, y'all? It's motherfucking Vader Moto. And today's topic for today's video is, should you run from the cops? The answer is obviously no. But I want to address some things that have been going on lately in the bike community, and it's kind of an embarrassment to all of us who are in this space. So, you know, obviously you guys are probably well aware of the content creator named Dancing Moto and his recent arrest. Well, that is unclear, but his recent chase with the police officers and him going down on his R7, like this bike, R7, and he went down in the rain. He had no gloves, no jacket, but he did have his helmet and his boots and his riding pants, kind of like these. And we're just gonna go over whether you should run from the police. So let's go through it. So when it comes to running from the police on a motorcycle, it's very dangerous and there's a lot of risk involved. So if you're running from the police, you're probably trying to get away, correct? So you're most likely going to evade them by taking routes that are unfamiliar to you, or maybe you're familiar with them, but you don't know what lies ahead. There might be some unforeseen road conditions that you are unaware about, and that could make you go down. There could be gravel, there could be a pothole, there could be some tar snakes that are wet, like like if it were raining. And alongside the risks that are involved with running from the police, you are putting the public safety in jeopardy. As a motorcycle rider, you already are kind of invisible almost to people who are in cars. So if they can't see you on a regular, you know, in a regular commuting setting, then imagine if you were speeding, running from the police, and then you come across them abruptly and they had no clue you were there. You could put them in danger, and they could make a sudden gesture, they could make a sudden move within their car that either makes them crash or they crash into you. And those are both bad scenarios that could happen. Public safety being jeopardized, you are jeopardizing your own life. And it's not worth it, to be honest, to run from the police just because you are afraid of facing the consequences. Basically, you're failing to take responsibility and accountability for your actions. Now let's talk about running in the rain. On a motorcycle, you're already at a disadvantage with two wheels. With two wheels, you are limited to it's probably more than half the traction of a car, because the motorcycle tire is rounded. The motorcycle has a very large disadvantage to a car, as the car has 4 tires and bigger, and it's more flat compared to the, you know, the roundedness, the rounded tire that are on motorcycles. Contact patch is way larger on a vehicle than a motorcycle. So already in the rain, even if you have the best all-weather tire for your motorcycle, you still are at a greater risk at sliding out. But all in all, to sum it up, running from the cops is probably the most ridiculous thing you could ever do. Now I'm gonna address the nature of bike talk. Mask talk, book talk, dancing talk, OF talk. God, that's such an awful category. We have all these different types of creators within the biker community, and most of their content is harmless. But when it becomes harmful is when you have bike talkers who are promoting the blue label fans, if you know what I mean, and their following consists of people who are not of age. That's where we have to, you know, scratch our heads and wonder what the hell is going on. And those kinds of individuals that are in this community are poisoning the reputation of everybody, because now, being in such a small group of individuals, we are being categorized in a similar light as those people with those, you know, the Blue Label fans. And this individual that wears the Hello Kitty pants, we all know who he is, David. He's a bad representation of the biker community, I'll be honest. You're running from the cops, you promoted a Blue Label fans to people who are not of age. In your following, you have all these followers and they're all not supposed to be going on that website. Besides that point, the fact that David set up a GoFundMe for his, critical condition injuries that put him in the hospital, but he was released pretty soon after being admitted to the hospital. Then he gets his mugshot revealed. People say that mugshot was from a previous charge, which is even funnier because this guy he just keeps repeating offenses. He's a repeat offender. That's crazy. And I can't believe people still defend him. But he gets his mugshot posted and the arrest date says October 8th. Which is crazy. So clearly he was not in the hospital that long. So he sets up this GoFundMe and he's scamming all of his followers to try to feel bad for him and begging for money to pay for what? Is it hospital bills or is it your bail money? Like, it's so hilarious. So this guy David, he's 18 or 19 and he's out here making the most stupidest decisions, and he's basically kind of ruining the trajectory of his life, committing these crimes. And there are young impressionable teenagers who want to get into the biker community and they have this guy as their role model, and that's clearly not all right, and it has to be addressed. We can't have this in our community. We need to promote safety and abiding by the law. Of course, there's ways to have fun on a motorcycle. There's plenty of ways. With the permission of warehouses, you can go to the lot and you could do stunts, wheelies, stoppies, drifts, with the permission, of course. Because doing it in a public road, you're jeopardizing your own safety and others around you. And let me add, it is illegal to do that on the road. You will get pulled over for that. But just make sure you don't run, okay? Just take full responsibility of your actions. And the speeding part. If you want to go speeding, take your bike to the track. You are allowed to go as fast as you want. And there are wider lanes and there's a runoff. In the case that you slide out, there's plenty of space for you to slide and not hit anything, because that impact will really hurt or end your life. So I really hope the young generation sees this incident with the guy in the Hello Kitty pants and learn from it, because this is an example of exactly what not to do. But besides all that, I don't think dancing content by your motorcycle is bad. It doesn't harm anybody, and besides, TikTok is a dancing music app, so it only makes sense that dancing is something that people post on that app. Even Instagram is still somewhat like that, because Instagram is just social media, but it's meant to grab the attention of viewers, and dancing is one of those tools to grab attention. The problem with the creators that make content that doesn't involve riding is when they do bad things on their bike. That's when it's a problem. Yeah, I digress. We're done talking about it. I just have to let that out because I really don't want anybody, especially someone close to me, to end up in his situation. It does take an unk to tell people, hey, this is right, this is wrong. I'm out here in Olympia just going on a little cruise because I actually like to ride my bike as much as I like dancing in front of it for views. But hey man, that's just how it is. Such a nice day out. It did rain a little bit in the morning, but it's all dried up as you can see on the road. So it's not as unsafe to ride. Woo! I see a biker! What's up, buddy? Oh, he didn't even notice me. His car must be blasting. Alright, let's close this out. I am where I want to be. End it, end it, end it. I'm going to turn around. I've only put that point in my GPS just so I can get down here, but I don't want to go more north. I want to be in the city. I want to see what's going on in the city. Woo! Wait for this truck to pass by. I'm gonna practice some U-turn maneuvers. Oh, it's so hard on a sports bike. That's one thing you guys need to practice is go to a parking lot and do some slow speed maneuvers, because not all bikes react the same. So if you get a new bike and it's completely different from what you used at the MSF course, go out in the parking lot and practice, because this bike behaves a lot differently than the 250 dirt bike that I used. Let's see if we can spot any more bikers out here. I mean, it is Friday and afternoon, so people are probably at work, but today I am off. Stoppy. Don't try that at home. But looks like people are out on their lunch break. It's pretty busy, more than I expected. I need to find a new town to cruise around, because this is a really small city, if I'm being honest. Already I'm heading to the highway, but I want to stay in the city a little bit longer. It's just like a small square, to be honest. Oh yeah, we got a biker right here. What's up, buddy? Oh, I hope this video is being recorded in 16:9. If it's 4:3, I'm gonna be pissed. Oh, we got somebody laying over there in the park. They're probably on drugs. Wouldn't be surprised in Washington State. You got a lot of drug addicts. Big problem here. But me, I'm just high on life. For real though, on God. I'm surprised there's apartments here. It's like, what is there to do in this city? Watch out for this Yukon. Don't turn over here, buddy. Don't give me that David treatment. Man, I just love riding. I wish that moto creators did more riding content. But unfortunately, these social media apps are brain dead. The people on it are brain dead. They just want to be mentally stimulated on and on and on again. They want to see something crazy, something flashy. But honestly, this lifestyle is not really a flashy one. It's a relaxing and a free-spirited hobby. That's what it is. I think that if moto creators posted more riding content, it will kind of shift the direction and the tide of what people want to see. I want people to see that riding is actually something to be taken seriously, as you know, a bad mistake can lead to injury or death. This could be very fun as long as you practice and not try to run from the cops or do wheelies beside vehicles on the highway. Between me and you, whoever is watching this video, I'm starting to get tired of going to bike meets, if I'm being honest. It has really little to do with riding. You just show up to the meets, you see everybody's bikes, and then what? I mean, yeah, you go chat with your friends, but you guys can do that together somewhere else. I'm starting to lose the interest in bike meets, and it really doesn't have any purpose, to be honest. It does get new people who don't have friends to, you know, make new friends potentially, or not, because sometimes people are weird and it makes sense. Besides that, it gets boring. You're just standing there at the bike meet, doing what? Just hanging out because the bike meet flyer said this time to this time, so you're just there for 2 hours doing nothing when you could be riding. And if I'm being honest, I do have a different opinion about group cruises or group rides. I actually enjoy those. Not the ones when there's people, you know, being hooligans and wheeling, speeding, lane splitting. That's not the kind of group rides that I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of just going on a cruise to a twisty road or somewhere, or to a destination like a boat launch. That's the kind of stuff that I'm into. So most likely in this winter season, I'm gonna host moto cruises, group rides, whatever you want to call it, riding with my homies. I'm gonna call that riding with my homies season 1, because I'm hosting it for the first time. I mean, I did a few, but I'm gonna make it official for those riders who are about this life and who ride all year like I do. But there's so many bozos on the internet right now, and it cracks me up. They get these expensive bikes and they get these expensive helmets, but they don't even know how to ride. And they're just out here crowd chasing to get girls' attention on social media, but they got no brand deals. That's the crazy part. Because they have nothing to do with motorcycle riding. They are irrelevant to the sport. Oh, it's so funny. And it might be just me getting old, but I don't think so. Because after owning this bike for a year and being a rider for 1 year, believe it or not, I've learned that this is not a trend. This is a lifestyle. And I want to protect it because I love it. You know, we got to protect things that you love. I stand by that. There goes the Capitol building. Gorgeous. Let's talk about how I put 12,000 miles on this R7 in 1 year. I really do ride this thing. Oh, I love when the speed bumps have this slit in the middle. You can just go right through it. Alright guys, I'm gonna cut it here. Thank you for watching the vlog, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.